She only wanted a 5-minute break, but when 22-year-old Talia Morgan, a struggling black cleaner in a luxury Dubai office tower, sat in the executive leather chair, the one that belonged to the coldest Arab billionaire in the country, she passed out cold, legs sprawled on the desk, drooling on confidential documents. The same documents that could shake the global tech industry. She didn't mean to. She'd just finished scrubbing the CEO's entire floor, marble, glass, and gold. 3 hours straight, no break, no water, no thank you. She thought no one would notice if she rested for just a moment. After all, it was 3:15 a.m. Everyone had gone, except him. Kamal Al-Fawd, the 34-year-old ice-hearted CEO of Fawd Tech, had returned unexpectedly. Drenched in rage from a failed $900 million merger, he stormed into his penthouse office, only to find a black girl with kinky curls, wearing a janitor's jumpsuit, snoring in his sacred chair. With her legs up on his desk. On his desk, the same desk where he'd negotiated arms deals, shut down nations, signed billion-dollar contracts, and now, it cradled a cleaner's foot. For a second, he didn't move. He just stared. There was something familiar about her. Something about the shape of her mouth, the softness of her face. Then it hit him. She was the same girl he saw on that reality TV talent show a year ago. The girl he voted for. The one who sang like a storm in silk. The one who disappeared after episode 3, never to be seen again. Now here she was, sleeping in his chair like it was hers. Like she owned the tower. What Kamal did next shocked the entire building. He didn't yell. He didn't fire her. He didn't even wake her. Instead, he took off his blazer, draped it over her body, and sat down on the floor next to her. And waited for the girl who once lit up his TV screen with her voice, to open her eyes in his world of wealth, danger, and obsession. What started as an accident was about to spiral into the scandal of the year. Talia's eyes fluttered open. For a brief second, she thought she was dreaming, until she realized she was still wrapped in something soft, warm, and far too expensive to belong in her world. She blinked again. It wasn't a blanket, it was a blazer. Not just any blazer. Custom Armani, monogrammed cuffs, worth more than her entire life savings. She sat up, confused, and then panic hit her like a truck. She was in Kamal Al-Fawd's chair, legs still on the desk, mouth dry, drool on the corner of her lips. And then she heard it, the soft clink of a glass. She turned her head in slow motion and nearly choked on her own spit. Kamal was sitting right there, on the floor, shirt sleeves rolled up, watching her like she was a puzzle he wanted to solve or break. She jumped to her feet. "I am so sorry, sir. I didn't mean to. I was just..." She stumbled over words, heart pounding. He didn't say a word, just looked up at her with that unreadable billionaire face. And then, he smiled. A slow, dangerous smile. "You've got guts, Miss Morgan," he said in a tone that sent a shiver down her spine. "Most people don't touch my chair. You slept in it." Talia was sure she'd be fired. But instead, by 9 a.m., an email rocked the entire building. Subject: new appointment, executive personal assistant to Mr. Al-Fawd. People were furious. She was just a cleaner. She didn't have a college degree. She once mopped the bathroom where the board members peed. Now she was the personal assistant to the CEO? Whispers exploded across the office. She must have slept with him. She cast some kind of spell. She's black, broke, and definitely hiding something. And oh, was she? What they didn't know was that Talia hadn't just been a reality show contestant. She was also the secret daughter of Kamal's biggest rival, the Nigerian oil tycoon Olu Morgan, who mysteriously vanished 5 years ago after exposing corruption inside Fawd Tech. And now, his daughter was inside the enemy's tower. But Kamal didn't know that yet. All he knew was that he couldn't stop thinking about her. The girl who dared sleep in his chair, and now lived rent-free in his billion-dollar brain. The war between desire and danger had only just begun. Talia stood behind Kamal in the executive elevator, her heart hammering against her ribs. Not because she was nervous, no. That phase was gone. Now, she was angry, curious, and slightly excited. Why had he promoted her? Why did this ruthless CEO, known for firing people over coffee temperatures, suddenly need her by his side? She knew it wasn't about qualifications. It wasn't even about respect. It was something darker. Control, possession. Kamal Al-Fawd didn't like people, but he seemed obsessed with Talia. The long stares, the private meetings, the way he accidentally brushed against her when passing files. His breath always a bit too close, his voice always a little too low. It was like he couldn't help himself, yet couldn't admit it, either. In public, he mocked her. "Try not to break the espresso machine this time, Miss Morgan. Maybe dusting CEO desks was your true calling. But behind closed doors?" He burned. He watched her mouth when she spoke. He touched her wrist too long when handing papers. And the way he reacted when he saw her laughing with the young intern, Tariq? Terrifying. He'd called her into his office, shut the blinds, and whispered, "Next time I see you giggling like a schoolgirl with another man, Miss Morgan, I won't be so professional." Professional? Last night, he'd texted her at 2 a.m. just one line. "Did you miss me today?" And even worse, she had. But what Kamal didn't know was that Talia wasn't just some helpless girl swept up in romance. She had a plan. A secret USB hidden in her handbag contained damning documents. Proof that Fod Tech had buried evidence in the same scandal that made her father disappear. If she played her cards right, she'd expose Kamal for who he really was, and take down the billion-dollar empire from the inside. But things were getting complicated, because the man she came to destroy was now the man who made her skin tingle just by standing too close. And as fate would have it, Kamal had just discovered something shocking, a photo of Talia, as a teenager, with the man Kamal thought was long dead, Olu Morgan, the ghost of a rivalry Kamal buried. Suddenly, everything clicked for him. She was planted, she was dangerous, but here's the twist. Instead of firing her or confronting her, Kamal wanted her even more. He didn't just want to own her. He wanted to break her, then make her beg to stay. That night, the office was dark, except for the top floor. Talia stood in Kamal's penthouse office, her breath fogging up the glass as she stared over Dubai's skyline. The same skyline she once watched from the janitor's quarters, now viewed from the CEO's chair. Kamal leaned against the doorway behind her, his shirt unbuttoned just enough to reveal a glimpse of the tattoos no one in the media knew he had. His voice was quiet, but firm. "You're playing a dangerous game, Miss Morgan." She turned, slowly. "So are you, sir." The tension snapped like an electric wire. They collided. It wasn't romantic, it was explosive. Weeks of repressed obsession, public humiliation, midnight texts, and denied lust poured out like gasoline meeting flame. He kissed her like he owned her, pushed her against his desk, the same desk where she once dusted crumbs from his croissants. She didn't resist. She clawed at his collar, matching his hunger. But what they didn't know, they were being watched. A red light blinked silently from the corner of the room. The security camera, long thought disabled, was still rolling. And someone was watching the feed in real time. Downstairs, in the IT control room, Tariq, the young intern who adored Talia, stared at the screen in horror. His crush had just turned into a scandal, and his boss was about to become viral tabloid gold. But things got worse. Kamal, breathless, pulled away just long enough to whisper something that chilled Talia to the bone. "You think I don't know who you are, Morgan? I knew the second I saw your eyes. You're his daughter, the man who tried to destroy my legacy." She froze. He knew, and yet, he didn't stop. That's what makes this so thrilling. His hand brushed her stomach. "Imagine, the daughter of my enemy, carrying my heir." Talia slapped him, hard. This was a mistake. She grabbed her blouse and stormed out, heart pounding, humiliation flooding her body. But Kamal didn't stop her. He just smirked and walked to his liquor cabinet. "Let the games begin," he muttered, pouring a glass of whiskey. That night, the footage was downloaded, duplicated, and sent to an anonymous gossip blogger known for ruining lives. By morning, the headlines were everywhere. Secret office affair. Arab billionaire CEO caught with black cleaner. From mop to mistress, the viral tape that could end Fod Tech. She was just his secretary. Now she's allegedly pregnant with his baby? And just like that, the real power struggle began. Because now, Talia had leverage. But so did someone else. And they were about to use it to burn both Kamal and Talia to the ground. Talia never expected to wake up as a trending topic. But there she was, all over social media, smeared across blogs and tabloids as the desperate black cleaner who seduced her Arab boss. Her inbox? Flooded with job offers, hate mail, and a blackmail message from an unknown number. "We both know what happened last night. Pay me $5 million or the full video gets leaked, unedited. You have 48 hours. Her hands trembled. She had nothing. No money, no power, just a belly full of secrets and a man who publicly despised her. Yet privately, he couldn't stop texting. "Kamal, come to my villa. No cameras, just us." Was this a trap, or a chance to flip the game? She went. The villa was cold, white marble floors, bodyguards, silence. He stood there, shirtless, sipping dark coffee like nothing had happened, like he hadn't ruined her life and turned her into a meme. "So, Miss Morgan, are you here to threaten me? Or to beg me?" She dropped the burner phone on the table. Let the blackmail text speak for itself. He didn't flinch. "Cute, but you're not the only one being blackmailed." He turned his phone around. It showed a picture of him, naked, asleep in bed, with a very familiar face next to him. Talia gasped. "Wait, is that?" "Yes, my fiancé's sister." Silence. "She planned it, drugged me, took pictures. She knows about us, and she wants to destroy you, and marry me by force." Talia was stunned, but it made sense now. The leaked video, the perfectly timed headlines. This wasn't just scandal, it was a war. And they were pawns. Kamal slammed his fist into the glass table, cracking it. "You want to play the villain? Then play it well. Be the woman the world already thinks you are. Own it." Talia's eyes burned with fury. "You humiliated me, you toyed with me, and now you want me to, what? Pretend this was my plan?" He leaned in close, whispering, "No, I want you to destroy them with me." Suddenly, the door burst open. In walked a man, older, scarred, with a limp. Talia turned pale. "Daddy?" "Yes, her father. The man Kamal swore was dead. The man who once bankrupted Kamal's empire in a failed corporate takeover. He was alive." "Hello, Talia. Sorry for the drama, but this was always part of the plan." She stepped back, heart pounding. "What plan?" He smirked. "To make you Kamal's greatest weakness, and his ultimate downfall." Talia stared at her father like she was seeing a ghost. Because to her, he was. Years ago, he had disappeared after a financial scandal that nearly destroyed their family. The world believed he was dead, but he wasn't dead. He was in hiding, plotting, waiting, and now, he had returned, not for revenge, but for redemption through destruction. "I faked my death for this," her father said, voice rough like sandpaper. "To infiltrate their world, and you, my daughter, were the final chess piece." Kamal stood frozen. Everything about him, the arrogance, the wealth, the cold CEO mask, had cracked. He had been played, and by the two people he thought he controlled. "So what now?" Kamal spat. "You think you can destroy me with tabloid lies and daddy-daughter theatrics?" Talia stepped forward, the fire in her eyes no longer fear, but power. "No, Kamal, I'll destroy you with the truth. Starting with this." She reached into her bag and pulled out a USB stick, one that held hidden footage from the office security cams. Footage that showed Kamal assaulting her, coercing her, using his power in ways no CEO should. "This is going straight to the press. To the board, to the world." He grabbed her wrist. "If I go down, you go down with me." She leaned in close. "No, darling, I rise." But just as she turned to leave, a sharp bang echoed across the villa. Her father dropped to the floor, shot in the leg. A man in all black stepped forward from the shadows. Kamal's personal bodyguard. No one ruins Mr. Kamal and walks out alive. Chaos erupted. Talia ran. Kamal shouted. More guards burst in. But amid the chaos, she escaped, vanishing into the Dubai night, pregnant, hunted, and hated. But not broken. 6 months later, the news made global headlines. Arab billionaire CEO steps down amid explosive sex scandal. Black maid turned whistleblower reappears with baby bump and book deal. From cleaning to CEO. The true story behind the viral power move. Talia sat in her penthouse office, legs on her new gold desk. The same way she had accidentally fallen asleep 6 months ago, except now, it was hers. Kamal, stripped of power, under investigation, and last spotted boarding a private jet to nowhere. And as for the baby growing inside her? "You'll never know the pain I went through," she whispered to her belly, "but you'll grow up never knowing shame." She smirked, pulled out her laptop, and titled her memoir draft, From His Chair to His Nightmare, How I Took Down the Billionaire Who Took Me for Granted.